So for the first DIY, I have a phone strap, and I'm pretty late to this trend. I'm pretty sure it was popular last summer on TikTok, but I decided I wanted to make my own, and I finally got around to doing it. So I just took some string. I literally just found this in my basement. I don't really know what type of string it is. And here you can see I'm struggling to tie a knot, but that's what I was doing first, just tying a knot at the end. Well, first I cut it and then I tied the knot at the end, so then when I string the beads on, they don't fall off. And then I tied like 3 knots into this mega knot to make sure it wouldn't fall off. But then I tried using these pearls, and the holes are literally tiny, so it takes me 5 years to string these. As you'll see, I just sped it up because you don't need to see the real time of how long that took me. But basically, I just strung on these fake pearls, and every so often I had to cut the string because it got so frayed on the end it wouldn't fit into the tiny itty bitty hole that the pearl had. So I would do about 6 of the pearls, I think, and then a butterfly bead. I forgot what the word for that was. It's a butterfly. And then I just kept on stringing on more beads, and then the in the order that I told you. So yeah, there we go, and then I'm almost done, and this took forever. This is so sped up. It's on like 25 times sped up. It's just, it took me a very long, way longer than it really should have. And here we go, here's the finished product. I am a little bit out of practice making videos, guys, wow. But I'm just tying off the end. I just tied the 2 ends together, and then I'm gonna cut off the excess. And then I don't really know how to explain what I did next. I just kind of tied a knot, like, I don't know, you'll see what I did. I don't know if this is the best way to do it, but this is what I could think of, is I just kind of pinched it together and tied a knot to make a loop on the end for your phone. I don't know. And then one of the knots became undone, and then I had to cut it, and it was, anyways, it took me forever. As you can see, this is sped up as well. But there we go. I finally got that knot there, and that's pretty much it. It's pretty easy, but it took me forever because I am slow at putting on these pearls, and the knots took me forever. I don't know why, but it was my first time trying out making one of these, and I think it turned out pretty cute. And then I'm just putting it onto a phone, and that's what it looks like. Again, this took me forever to like push all these little beads through the hole to, anyways, you're seeing what's happening, and I like how it turned out. This was the first DIY I did for the video, and these like pink fuchsia beads kind of made the rest of the DIYs fuchsia as well, because I was really just feeling the color, and then I ended up making the rest of the DIYs fuchsia as well. I think pretty much most of all of them are fuchsia. So yeah, that was the first DIY. Let me know what you think about. Have you made these? Are you gonna make one? Let me know. Do you think they're like functional? I don't know. I'm gonna try it and see how I like it. They're really cute though, I think. Next up is chunky polymer clay rings, and I was literally obsessed with these over the summer. I have a million that I've made, and even though it looks like I'm making them for the very first time in this video because they're not that cute, I tried my best. And I find with long nails, it's kind of hard to make things out of clay. Well, I don't even have that long of nails right now, but they're kind of longish, and so it was harder. And anyways, I use these 2 colors of clay. It's a fuchsia and a pearl, and that hand there, it's my mom. She was helping me to knead the clay because you have to condition polymer clay, if you don't know, until it like pulls apart in a better raindropped shape than that, but I was just lazy and getting tired. But this pink one, it became softer way faster because it's the Sculpey brand. I don't know if you guys know polymer clay. I know a little bit, but the Sculpey brand like becomes softer faster. Anyways, you guys probably don't care. But the other one was a Primo clay, so it took longer. And anyways, it's pretty self-explanatory what I'm doing here. I just saw a picture on TikTok of a ring that looked like this, and I was like, I want to try and make it, except mine is a little more smushed than that ring was. But I just rolled the clay into a snake, and then I like zigzagged it into this shape, and I just kept pressing it down and playing around with it. And then I just cut it off from the rest of the snake and wrapped it around my finger. And that's pretty much how I made the ring. And then I'm doing it again, but this time, I mean rolling out a snake again, and then I just twisted 2 strands together to kind of make like this twisty ring, and I wrapped it around my finger to measure. Pretty simple. You could also wrap it around like if you have like a thick pen or something like that. For this last ring, I took the white clay that was finely conditioned. It took a while of kneading that clay, and I rolled it into a snake, and then I patted it down and rolled out 3 little balls of the fuchsia clay as little accents for the ring. So I took the white, measured it around my finger, tried to smooth out the edges as well as I could. It's not perfect, but they're homemade, fun, chunky rings. They don't have to be perfect. And I put on those 3 little dots and flattened them out. And here are the 3 that I'm gonna go put in the oven. And then they'll harden and be ready to go. Next up, I have chunky paintings. Okay, I don't really know if that's the best thing to call this DIY, but it's what I thought of. Anyways, I started off with these little easels of, they were like mini easels, and then they had canvases on them, and I thought that was so cute. I just found this in my house. I have like a million craft supplies because I hoard craft supplies. But anyways, I just opened up the canvases to start, and then I painted on some acrylic paint. Just, oh my gosh. Okay, guys, it was an ordeal to get this paint out. All of my craft supplies are pretty old because I haven't crafted in a bit. I've been at university and I haven't been home, and I haven't been crafting as much, but I decided to pull my stuff out and film. And as you can see, you know that like oily stuff at the top of paint when it's separated? That's what was coming out, and I was like, why? I shook it, as you saw in the video. I shook it and I was like, what's going on? So I wiped off that oily stuff from the canvas and I opened it up, and it's like that's what it looked like. Oh, so gross. Oh my goodness. So sorry you had to see that. But I just took it out, I shook it up again, and then it still was like liquidy. So I was like, what's going on? So then I stuck in a popsicle stick and I was stirring it around, and that kind of worked. It's still kind of gloopy, but it works for my purposes, I think. But yeah, I just painted it on, and I'm super lazy, so I didn't like squeeze it off into anything. I just painted it right onto the canvas, and I wanted to paint both of them pink as like the base of my chunky painting. So that's what's happening right now, is I'm just painting the base with a random paintbrush. I don't know if there's a better technique than this. I got paint all over my fingers and all over my nails. I let the canvases dry, and then I got out some modeling paste and scooped some into a Ziploc bag to pipe out. And I'll tag below every TikTok that I was inspired by, and every creator that inspired this. There's one in particular, I can't remember her name, but she does art like this, and she really inspired me to make this. So I'm just cutting off the tip of the piping bag, or the Ziploc bag that has modeling paste in it, and then I'm just squeezing out a little smiley face. I thought that would be pretty cute. I saw it on TikTok. Like I said, I'll link it down below to who inspired this, but I'm just spreading out the modeling paste into like a somewhat of a circle. I thought, why don't I try to make it textured, but then I didn't really like the texture, so I whipped it off and made it like smooth-ish again, but still a little rough, not perfect. And then I'm doing the next canvas, and with this one I'm just doing flowers, so just a little floral design, and I'm just doing 3 rows of those. And to do that, I just did like 5 dots, or 6 actually, like the middle and then 5 petals. And I did that, and I thought it looked pretty cool, 3D, and I added some more to the smile because I was like, why not? I had more in the piping bag. And then I just squeezed the rest back out into the main jar and let this dry. So I let it dry overnight, and it probably wasn't fully dry. Like the top layer of the paint was dry, but I'm pretty sure since the paint is so thick, it's probably still drying underneath. But I just wanted to finish up the DIY and paint them anyways, then I'll let them dry after. So I just am taking some acrylic paint, and this is still my old clumpy acrylic paint, but it works. So I'm gonna do about 3 coats of the yellow and then 1 coat of the black. And I feel like maybe I shouldn't have gone in with the black on the smiley face or done like a different sort of color scheme, because it looks like it's like staring into your soul, but Anyways, if anyone has suggestions to change it up, let me know. But that's what I did to paint these two. And also the artist on TikTok that inspired me is Katie Groth. I think her is at Katie's art. I'll have it linked down below. And also Josie Lewis art, as well as another TikToker that I saw that inspired this one. So I'll make sure I link them down below so you could check out their accounts. But definitely Katie really inspired this. She has like really pretty floral canvas that she makes, and she does like a smiley one, and she has a ton of other really cute canvases, and so she's what inspired me to make this DIY. And yeah, so I'm just continuing to paint them and paint them and paint them, and then do another coat. And really, I just did 3 coats because I went to Crack-A-Doodle the other day and they said you should do 3 coats on their things that you put in the kiln. So I was like, I don't know. Anyways, it looked opaque enough to me. And then I took my Gloopy Black, as you can see here, and painted it on with another paintbrush. And this is probably bad etiquette, but I just cut off extra bristles that were annoying me when I was painting. I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this DIY. You could probably seal it with something, but I didn't. I just left it as it was. My 4th DIY is a seashell ring dish, and this one I totally wasn't planning on making. I wanted to make one out of clay, but then I realized I didn't have the right type of clay to make these dishes that I was seeing on TikTok, so I decided to change things up a little bit. I have a bunch of seashells, and I wanted to just paint this one with a gold rim. I showed a bunch of different ones at the beginning, and I chose this one. I thought it was cute, and I get some paint on my hand there. Oops. Anyways, but I'm just painting the rim of the seashell, and I just painted it gold because I thought that would look really pretty with some of my gold rings inside. And it's like a neutral color scheme, like gold and white. That's the shell. And I took it a little bit down the outside of the shell for a little bit of an ombre, I guess you could say, and then I just let that dry, and that's pretty much it. And last but certainly not least, I felt so cheesy saying that, but it's a friendship bracelet. So it's a pretty simple one, and I did not make this perfectly. I was trying to go from memory from when I made friendship bracelets at camp when I was a kid, and I did not. My memory failed me on this one. I made first of all, my first mistake was that I made these strings too short. So you want to make like one side much longer than the other, and that's the one that you'll do most of the tying with, but I didn't. So anyways, I just made a knot at the top with a little loop, so when you can tie your bracelet through the loop at the top. And then I have this clipboard that I found in the basement with all of my other supplies, like the thread. This is embroidery floss for anybody who didn't know. So this clipboard, it's basically just some felt like hot glued onto the clipboard, and that helps to helps you to, I think, hold the strings down when you have more complicated designs than this. But basically I just clipped it in and then started doing these knots. You just create like a 4 shape, and I'm realizing that's kind of hard to see on this because it's dark pink. It's like fuchsia on red, which was very hard to see, but I'll link down below to a website or something that explains how to make this bracelet. But basically you just do the exact same knot that I was showing you, like the 4, and you loop it through. It looks like 4, I think. To me it looks like 4, and then you loop it through, or at least that's, I think, how I was taught. Whoever taught it to me was told me it looks like a 4, and then that's how I've always thought of it. Anyways, so I'm just doing all of the same knot and just alternating between the pink and the white, and I do about 10-ish knots before I move on to the next color. And I did not have enough string for this, so it turned out a little bit short, but that's okay. It could be a keychain or a lanyard, something like that as well. It can just barely tie around my wrist, but anyways, I think it turns out pretty cute. I don't even know what the name of this pattern is. I'll Google it and put it down in the description. But yeah, it's pretty simple, and you don't need a lot of string, and it was really fun to make. It was actually faster than making the lanyard in the very first DIY I did. But yeah, you could tie off the end in a knot as well if you want, and then you could tie it around your wrist, do whatever you want. I didn't actually tie it because it's a little bit short, like I said. Don't do what I did and make your strings longer than you think you'll need them, clearly. And there is the final product. It's a little twisty spiral of a bracelet, and I think they're really fun to make. So those are the 5 aesthetic TikTok DIYs that I made in this video. I hope you like them, and comment down below and let me know which one's your favorite. And if there are any other DIYs that you've seen on your For You page that you want me to try out or you think would be cool to see, I'd love to try them out. I'm by no means an expert, but I have a lot of fun filming these, so definitely let me know which one you think I should film next. It's been a while since I made a YouTube video, but if you like crafts or slime and things like that, I have other videos you can watch, like a bunch of slime reviews and satisfying slime videos, and I plan on doing more craft videos in the future as well, so subscribe if you like that kind of stuff. And I'm really excited to post more and have fun editing videos and all of that fun stuff. Oh, and also, if you could give this video a like so then the algorithm knows that you like the video or something. I don't know. I forget the way YouTube things work, but if you could give me a like, I'd appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next week.